Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, very fun video. I'm testing Taylormade SiM2 and SiM2 Max. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to test the SiM2 and the SiM2 Max up against last year's Sim, but also the Taylormade M2 from 2016. So we'll see how much difference see what they've gained in 5 years and if it's worth the money. Price is surprising. We'll go over that in a wee bit, but I'll go over the tech and everything like that and what's in them and what's not in them. That's something to note, is what's not in them. And I'm going to be testing them with the KBS shaft that I had in my previous video for the Taylormade driver, and I'm just going to see what's what, give my opinion, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get stuck in. Going to do a bit of tech talk now. So the biggest change is from Sim, there's now no sliding weight on any of the heads. No sliding weight, so there's no maneuverability of that CG. That is all fixed in all three heads, which is the first time for a few years in the Taylormade range where they haven't had that sliding weight. So SiM2 is the low spin one. This has a 16 gram weight at the back, a little bit of, well, I say a little bit, a lot of carbon fibre on the bottom, 16 gram weight at the back. Compare that to the SiM2 Max. That's got a 24 gram weight. That is just allowing you to drag the CG a little bit further back. The SiM2 is nice. This is the one I hit, and I liked hitting it the most. And we'll go over the numbers at the end, but same kind of carbon crown. It has that forged ring, what do they call it? Forged ring construction, which is aluminium, easy for me to say. Aluminum, as the Americans would say, but aluminium. Around it, which has a carbon crown, carbon sole. They've taken away the speed ports on the face, which I didn't really like them last year. The speed ports on the face, they didn't put me off, but I just didn't really like seeing them. I like the wee Taylormade logo that they've got on the top. That makes it easy for me to frame the ball. But where they've put the speed injection now is in the toe, right in the toe. And that's where the dampening. Another big change this year is the back of the face is purely milled, and that's for more speed. Milled back face, speed inject port. What else have they said? They've said a few things. They've still got twist face, but the biggest thing going into Sim Max is that the heavier weight at the back. You go into SiM2 Max D, it's got a 22 gram weight, but it's dragged further into the heel, increase the closure time of the toe, stop some gear effect off an already cutting ball. A lot of tech, as you would imagine, in a Taylormade driver. They always have a lot of tech. Can they back it up? Like I said, I'm going to go to the driving range now. I'm going to compare it against my M2 and last year's Sim. I'm going to go over the numbers at the end, and I'm going to see if it's worth it for me, worth it for... I don't know if it's going to be worth it for you. The biggest, easiest way for you to find out if it's going to be worth it for you is hit them. You have to hit them. You can't just say, oh, Taylormade are bringing out another driver. Oh, there's another driver on the market. You have to hit it before you knock it. Let's go. Let's go to the range. I am once again back here at Fourth View Driving Range in Airth, Falkirk. These are the four drivers I'm going to test. I have my own M2, last year's Sim, and I've got two SiM2s. I've got the SiM2 and the SiM2 Max. This is the SiM2. You'll notice there's a lot more carbon fibre on the bottom, nice top, very similar to last year's. Very, very lightweight. You've got that perimeter weighting, I'll go into that. This is last year's Sim driver with the sliding weight. You'll notice that there's no sliding weight on this year's Sim. They've also changed where the speed injection goes in. I will be using TrackMan over there, and I will be hitting into that night sky. Let's go and have some fun. So first up, we're going to have M2, Taylormade M2, and I've had this in the bag for a long time. And the reason I've never really changed it is because I've not found anything that works better or considerably better enough to warrant the change. I love the feel of it. I love the performance. Sim was close to getting it out. SiM2 might be the one. Now we move on to SiM. Now I've got this in a 9 degree. The M2 was 9.5. This is 9 degree. The other two are 9 degrees as well. All with the same shaft. This was very close to getting M2 out my bag last year. Just, and I mean just, didn't go in it. Let's see how it performs, because I mean, I've not hit this in a while, so let's have a whack and see how it goes. I've got the weight right in the middle, set to neutral. I'm not messing around with any settings. Let's have a look.
So I do prefer the looking down on that. It is nicer than the M2. The reason I kept the M2 for so long is the performance was that good. Let's see how this goes. That's as good as I hit that. So that strike is there. That strike there is where I would argue SiM suffered a bit more than previous drivers. A little bit high in the face, did lose a little bit of ball speed last year.
So now I'm hitting SiM2 Max. Same again, 9 degrees. We've done the tech talk. I don't really want to talk much more about it. I just want to hit it. Let's go.
Initial looks, it's a lot darker. That carbon fibre is a lot darker, so the front of the head is a lot clearer. I like it. I really like it. I mean, SiM stands for shape and motion, and I am picking up a bit of clip head speed. Is it turning into ball speed though?
So the last one we're going to hit is the standard SiM2. Now what I was most interested to find out is how much difference is not having the sliding weight gonna make. I can't tweak the CG. The CG is set. That was the big thing with that. For me, doing fittings, if you had someone who had a little bit of a tendency to turn it over, just easy to stick it in the toe, reduce the gear effect, reduce the turn of the face. Is this driver going to miss that? For me, I don't know. I doubt it for me. I doubt it for me. I probably would have left it bang in the middle anyway. But I think it might. For some, I definitely think it might. Let's see how it performs for me. This was probably the one I wanted to hit the most, so let's have a look. So this next drive, I just wanted to point out how far away from the middle of the face I hit this. And you will see a dip in the spin when the number comes up. This hit the middle of the fairway. It felt horrendous. I almost missed the face, and the spin was about 1400 revs. It ran a long way, but I cannot believe the twist face in action there. I cannot believe this was anywhere near hitting the fairway. This should have gone 50, 40, 50 yards left. It should have. So this is where we're going to look at some numbers. You can see that the highest ball speed is yielded from the SiM2, the highest carry distance is yielded from the SiM2, and the highest total distance. I'm gaining 10.3 yards over my own M2. I'm gaining about 7.5 from the last year's Sim, which is quite a considerable jump. You can see that the club head speed has jumped up a little bit, but that's what it's called. It's called the shape in motion. They are talking about giving you club head speed. It's a big difference, and it's a big gain. There will be a new driver in the bag this year. So, in conclusion, we have a very good driver here, which is going to work for a lot of people. Some people have tested it and only gained a little bit. It's going to change person to person. The biggest thing I can encourage you to do is test it and get fitted for it. If you only gain 4 yards, fine, don't buy it. 11 yards is enough to gain. Enough gain to buy the club. M2's coming out the bag this year. If nothing else beats the Taylormade, I'll be putting the Taylormade in the bag. That is 100% sure. It feels good. It looks good. I like the way last year's looked, and they didn't change it too much. They changed it just enough. Shape and motion is about gaining club head speed, and if you gain the club head speed along with the ball speed, superb. You seen the one shot there, which was horrendous, and it still went straight, and I was surprised. If I can hit fairways with a bad swing, I'm laughing. I'm going to shoot lower scores. So are you. Get fitted for it. See what it does. Thanks for joining. I wonder if they'll notice. Probably. See you next time.